О, хорош. Хорош.
Boom, дропает Starfield.
Hello, my name is Harkakola, and I'm the current world record speedrunner for this game. And
Мировой
I
рекорддержатель.
have Meta and Tomato Angus.
Hi, yeah, my name is Meta. I'm primarily an FPS speedrunner, but I have focused on Starfield a little bit. I helped with some of the routing near the launch of the game, and then I was really focused on
на
the faction
комментаторы
categories that we
великий
have.
ранее с
And
ником
I'm not so great at
Tomato
any
Angus.
percent, but Hark really is, and I'm excited to be here.
Ты ошибся,
I'm
он
Tomato
Ангус.
I ran this game a bit.
Ангус.
And Hark is
Ангус,
way better
Ангус,
than me,
Ангус,
and I
Ангус,
can't wait to see what you can do.
Томат, Ангус, Томат, Ангус. Не получается проглотить.
Ты пытался.
У них логотип в левом нижнем углу эргомеханики.
So we're going to be starting with a pre-made save file that skips the first 2-minute elevator ride of the run. It's basically just a sequence where you write down a long elevator before you hop off. We made the decision for quality of life, just to do that. So with that said, basically as soon as
Интересно, а загрузки-то не скипаются нифига. А вот почему ран такой долгий. А это ведь в натуре там варпов будет очень много, получается. Или нет? Или да?
So here at the start, I'm gonna walk off the elevator and go over to the side here. And doing this will cause the characters to both talk a little bit faster, and then in a couple seconds they're gonna start to run.
Потому что мы так отошли, персонажи немного быстрее говорят.
There she goes. Look at her sprint. She's hauling it.
Бегут.
Yeah, this whole section here. Go ahead, Hark.
So yeah, coming up here, we're about to set up a dialogue skip where we overlap some dialogue, and it just saves some time. Let's see if I can get it here.
Мне уже нравится, как игра началась, в принципе, претензий нет.
Got it.
Very nice. Pretty much right now, what Hark is doing, you have to kind of sit through a bunch of dialogue here, but if you talk to the NPCs while they're saying a line, you press E to interact with them, it'll skip that line. So Hark is trying to pretty much.
Короче, они говорят, и мы подходим к ним и нажимаем кнопочку, чтобы они заткнулись.
On screen of the line before that line as a visual cue for when he needs to press E on someone. Nice.
It's RNG manip.
Yeah, totally intended. And then you just gotta clear out some rocks. And again, he's gonna do another dialogue thing.
Но я не играл, но я слышу мнение, что Starfield хороший, если тебе, в принципе, нравится играть беседами, типа Fallout какой-нибудь.
Типа Fallout 76.
Или 4 какой-нибудь.
He has to wait for this invisible wall to disappear, the drill to move back, and now he's off to the races to go grab an artifact. Hark, do you want to kind of explain what the story setup is?
Right. So in this game, you're basically start off as basically a no one, but you end up finding this thing, this artifact. It grants you little visions of the future and some of the powers and whatnot.
Ну, короче, сюжет этой игры — это литературный сюжет Скайрима, только в космосе. Тут и старейшины всякие есть, вот эти вот, и мы местные Драгонборн, да.
Basically, the character's like, ooh, that was really cool. I want to find out more about what that is. And then you just go off into the universe to find more of these things and figure out what it all means.
Pretty much we're part of this drilling crew, and we've been hired to find this artifact, and that kind of is a catalyst to it all as well, because they're going to be showing up, this group named Constellation.
Потом мы, типа, в конце игры обнаружим, что там всякие мультиверсы, мы можем перезагружать вселенную и геноцидить в них всех, кого хотим. Снова и снова.
The bounty hunter, what is
Мы
it?
называем своего персонажа AGDQ 2024.
The ability to use the boost pack, and you get the ability to use thrusters on your ship. And the boost pack is very important since it's our main method of good transportation.
Speaking of boost pack, yeah, you'll notice that Hark was looking through the seam in
Мы
the fence
просто
there.
выключили
There's a
команду
very
ворот
small
века.
gap in which you can reach a chest,
Просто
and you
так устали ее
equip
заполнять.
this Deimos pack from that chest, and that is going to allow us to boost. I don't know the exact movement speed difference, but it's going to allow us to move faster, especially with the speed tech that we can go into shortly.
Not to them, apparently.
Pretty much right here, it's a bunch of walking. We're supposed to follow. I love running through that door before it opens. Right here, so
Можем пройти в дверь
and there's a lot of walking and
до того,
talking
как она
here, so he has a
открылась.
little bit of time to set things
Но
up. So
коллизия
he's
пропадает
gonna
очень
throw an
рано.
explosive over here for setup because there's some
О,
baddies that are
бочка.
gonna be coming in.
Я обожаю
Бочка.
спидраны, где есть бочки.
Which is where he's going to aim around a corner and hold R.
Летаем тут на
And
джетпаке,
pretty much right here
раскидываем.
he's setting it up. He pretty much
Бомбочки.
just stored his coordinates. So the next time that he aims down sight with his pistol, he's going to just get slingshotted straight back to that location. We're going to do a handful of these in a row because it's a lot of back and forth right here. As you can see, he's pushing Lynn along, so she moves a little faster.
Как-то
Here's
заглючили
Barrett, the dude from Constellation, the
пистолет
people who hired us to find the artifact. Very
через
nice.
панель.
Hark just found a drug called AMP in there, which will come in handy in a bit. But here he cover slides. Boom, right back. And he goes inside and he,
Вот как
he
это
sets up another
работает.
cover slide here
Мы
because
заглючили панель.
Barrett and Lynn are about to do a long
Да, и когда мы
dialogue, but if
прицеливаемся,
you ride the elevator
нас
back
просто
down into the
отшвыривает.
mine where we started and then back up, Hark is then going to cover slide to go skip the running here. The dialogue between Lynn and Barrett is skipped. So Hark just set up another cover slide and is going to enter Barrett's dialogue range up here and trigger the cover slide to start heading back again towards the elevator down because now there's some pirates who are on their way. And if you go down into the mine again and back up, it
Мы
skips
просто
the pirates
шатаем
landing,
этот лифт,
and they're just here
потому что
immediately.
Ну, мы
It's
делаем
just
вот
chaos, and
панель, прицеливаемся, и типа мы, получается, сохраняем буфер
hopefully we get some good luck with
этой
how the
позиции. Когда мы
pirates are
прицеливаемся, нас отправляют на
positioned
эту же
and whether or
панель.
not
Это
they
очень
actually come
интересно.
out of their ship near the explosives.
И мы
Oh
скипаем.
no, they're shy. They got stage fright.
При помощи лифта много
There we go. And
всего.
then right there, he just grabbed a rescue axe from one of the pirates, which is super important. You have to have a
Заходя
melee
и
weapon for, you
поднимаясь
have to have one
снова.
of the game's 9 melee weapons for a glitch that he's going to be doing a lot throughout the run. So you had to make sure to grab the rescue axe. It spawns every time on at least one of the pirates, so it's not too bad.
Блин, кстати, знаешь, вот я сейчас смотрю на Starfield, почему мне кажется, что лица плоские? Я понимаю, что они как бы, ну, 3D-шные, да? Но почему они выглядят так, как будто их лопаты ударили по лицу?
And then pretty much right here, they're just kind of setting up the story. Barrett's like, hey, you're coming with me. He gives us this watch that doesn't tell time. He's like, this is your key to get to the Constellation HQ. We're pretty much a part of Constellation now. We're part of this group that's going around trying to find all the artifacts because we think that, I don't even know like what they think it's gonna do. They're just like, hey, it's some crazy space thing. Let's
Не, в
I don't know, I'm
Обливионе
missing
и
out on
то
some part
были
of the lore
более
there.
объемные лица,
But,
чем здесь.
There's that artifact. He's
Нормально,
finding the
это
amp
все
along with
потому
the
что на
cutter and the
видео,
rescue
так
axe.
сказать, на стриме.
So the amp,
Стрим
it
как
А,
бы
то есть мне надо
картинка.
было, короче, те самые
Тебе
очки
надо было
надеть.
анаглифные очки надеть.
Да, да, ну, блин. Я, кстати, блин, вот ты мне сказал, я каждый раз, когда слышу про анаглифные очки, мне все время хочется купить. Но у меня все руки не доходят.
Вот, как бы, видим Starfield, сразу появляется желание купить.
Ой, блин, это опасная игра,
Собака
да.
Павлова в реакции.
Да. Это все конспирации, печаны. У нас Bethesda кодирует игры, видеоиграми, чтобы мы просто покупали. Неважно что, главное, чтобы просто покупали.
It's a little piece of junk, but they think it's valuable. So, but yeah, basically what we're going to be doing is just killing a couple ships for the next minute or so, and that's basically all it is. So, now would actually be a good time for some donations because this section lasts about a minute and a half. So.
Of course, not very much. We got a
$25
donation.
Меня Starfield не пойдет.
You're gonna smash it, Hark. Here is our shout out from the pub stomping
Какой там
Discord.
минимальный просто нужен?
We also have a $50 donation
Сколько
from Anonymous that
оперативки?
says, great to see Starfield
Надо
show up at AGDQ. Good
посмотреть.
luck on the run,
В
Heart.
Steam
Thanks
есть,
so
нет?
much to all the volunteers and runners who make this event happen. And then we also have a $5
Блин,
donation
Skyrim
from
я
Luna
давно
that says,
играл.
Octopath Traveler 2 was one of my favorite games of 2023, and I have to see the Galdera fight blindfolded. I couldn't even beat it with my eyes uncovered. Well, if you do want to see that fight, we are at $17,063.
Меня очень заинтересовало.
25,000 that we need for it, that is coming up fairly
Думаю,
soon,
4
just in
оперативно
a
Starfield,
couple of
серьезно.
runs time. So if you want to see that fight alongside Luna, please do keep your donations coming in to the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
Awesome, thank you. So right now,
Ну, сейчас посмотрим, какие минимальные требования у Starfield.
stands up before he fast
Я
travels
же самому
to a
очень
different planet
любопытно.
because it's slightly faster, you don't get an animation. And here
AMD
he stands up
Ryzen
again before landing on
2600X
the planet.
или
And
Intel
as soon
Core
as he loads in, he's
i7
going to land on the
6800K,
planet again,
16
which
гига
pretty much
оперативки
skips a
и
long
видюха
landing
минимум
animation that you'd have to watch
1070
every
Ti.
time. And we call that landing animation skip, but you'll notice that he doesn't
Еще
have a
нужен
HUD
обязательно
right now.
SSD-шник.
That's just part of the glitch. You don't have a, he has the HUD
Блин,
now.
у меня не
because
пойдет,
he pulled
короче,
up a
эта игра. У
scanner,
меня
but
только
when he
видюха
puts it away, he doesn't have the
пересекает.
HUD.
А, ну
You
и
have to load a save,
оперативка,
you
но у
need to,
меня
like, make a quick
оперативка
save and
DDR3.
quick load it to get your HUD back. But to progress the first quest, he just blows up some barrels to kill Brogan here.
Вот такая хорошая игра, она у меня не пойдет.
Gonna fast
Обидно.
travel across the solar system or galaxy to a different solar system, where he's again going to do a landing animation skip. But this time,
Не, у меня
because he
SSD
stands
есть,
all
всё
the
в
way up, it's a bit of a
Не, ну
caveat.
просто когда
Where you
тебе говорят, что
stand up,
нужно
then
обязательно
you'll have your
SSD.
HUD when you land. It's not too important. It's pretty niche. But now is probably a good time to start talking about zips. Who wants to take the lead on zips? I'm getting a finger pointed at me by Meta. All right, I'll talk about zips. So if you have a melee weapon like the rescue axe, and you have it out and you're in third person, and you jump and you move forward and you block at the same time, you zip forward a little bit. Now, Hark right here is doing this at a wall and trying to pause at the exact moment he's landing, or I guess a moment after he lands, and he's actually looking at a built-in plugin that we use with Live Split that tells him his speed in-game. And pretty much he's trying to pause on a small window of frames where he has a specific speed. And if you pause on that frame and you're the right distance from the wall, then if you make a save and load it, you'll get a huge speed boost and clip through the wall. That one looked really good, Hark.
Ну, бусты.
Yeah, the last two, I actually got flip frames and the right speed, but just
Вот,
got unlucky.
короче, в
flip
сплитах
frame is a
показывается
visual cue
скорость
when a runner's
персонажа,
going for a
и
zip.
если
It's
быть
like
на
1 or
определенном
2
расстоянии к
frames,
стене и
just
сделать
after you
quick load,
create the save, or
quick save,
maybe it's
quick load,
reload.
That's something.
можно разогнаться
Yeah,
настолько,
it's
что
like,
ты скрипнешь
anyway,
сквозь
it's 1
стену.
or 2 frames, so you have to be really, you have to have a keen eye. Hark is also now looting a chest. This is actually a vendor chest. This is the primary reason that we run on an older version of the game, as in the current patch of the game. All of these chests are teleported somewhere up into the sky, so we no longer have access to them. Tomato, would you like to talk about this trend?
Короче, ящик, который сейчас
Yeah,
подобрали,
I
это
recently had a YouTube
ящик
video,
торговца.
and, a commenter told
И
us
одна
about
из
this
причин,
time save, where if you
почему
interact with the train in
Starfield
the
ранят
front or the
на
back, it
ранних
skips the
версиях,
animation.
потому
So
что
thank you,
эти ящики
Foxtrot on YouTube, for
в
giving us
нынешнем
that
патче,
time save.
они где-то
Another important thing to mention
перенесли
as well
в
that we kind
небеса
of
вообще,
neglected to say
поэтому
was when Hark
просто
first
так
clicked out of bounds,
доступа к
the
этим
chest that he
ящикам
looted
нет
right there
сейчас.
was for 72,000 credits from the ship services vendor. So now Hark has a big fat wallet, and we're going to be using that in a moment. But first, though, we've arrived to Constellation. We show our watch to the door and say, check it out. It doesn't tell the time. And the door's like, man, that's crazy, and lets us in. And inside is where we're going to be meeting Constellation. And pretty much it's a lot of dialogue here. It's going to be 3 conversations or so. And to skip a lot of
А
the
вот
conversation,
знатокам
what Hark is going to
вообще
do
игр
is
беседки
fast
у
travel to
Моровинда
this
и
spot
Обливиона разные
and then
движки
just
или один и тот
re-enter.
же?
And when you fast travel, it kills some time. A handful of time passes in the game, and it's enough time to where the dialogue will have progressed and skips a bit of time. Skips a bit of
Блин, я
dialogue, saves some
Моровинд
time.
покупал в
Yeah, the
Джевеле,
older strat that we used to do
блин,
is
если не
just
ошибусь,
run out
рублей
and
за
run back in.
250, что ли. У меня он,
But now
у меня
Hark
он
has
даже
come
до
up
сих пор
with this
остался.
alongside a lot of other optimizations that my brain could never have thought of.
Seriously, Hark is
Не, я
insane at this
понимаю,
point.
что этот движок один и тот же с начала нулевых, но мне интересно будет,
And now
это
would probably be a good time
с
for you to
Моровинда
mention,
это
Hark, if
тот
you're
же движок или с Обливиона, потому что с
Sure.
Моровинда это, ну, меня не
Of course, we
удивляет,
got
блин,
ourselves a
Call of
$20
Duty это же тот же
donation
Quake
from
по
Sleep
сути.
that says this looks slightly different than
Это
Halo
типа,
4's
да,
on
Quake с
skip
кучей
or
модов.
RB hanger skip, but I know you're a pioneer in Starfield. Best of luck, Hark on the run, and from the Halo Runs community.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Ну, лучшая напарница в игре.
Hark, you got a lot of people cheering for you.
Но это как бы
it's
не мы
awesome.
решаем,
Got
это
so
решают
many
разработчики.
So right here, Hark is crafting a bunch of amp, which
Это как
again is the drug that makes us run fast. And he's then
наркоманка
going
из Fallout
to
4, у
fast
которой
travel
просто
to,
больше всего
well, first he's
диалогов в
leveling up
игре.
persuasion and astrodynamics. Persuasion is for something way later on. Astrodynamics, it lets you jump farther from solar
Кого-то
system to solar system. You
прорабатывает,
can
кого-то нет.
now go to a farther away one, which is important because right here we talked to the dude we
Разве
stole
можно
all
было
that money
спидранить
from,
удаленно? Да,
and we are
но
going to buy a
немногим,
ship from him, a
немногим.
different ship
Только
with that
избранным.
money, and then we're going to modify it.
Или
And
наоборот.
Hark's making
Я
three main
подавал свой
modifications.
ран, но
The
не
first
взяли.
one is he's
Почему-то
swapping out the
решили.
cockpit for a
Что?
different one, and it's because this cockpit that he's swapping to, the animation of
Да я
you standing up
уверен,
when you get on the chair
что
is just
это,
a second faster.
твой ран
The
заменили,
second thing was
заменили
he
на Марио
made
Карт.
he duplicated one of the weapons, so he now has a little extra firepower. And the third thing was he put extra fuel tanks on top, so he
Корабль
can
на
now fast
прокачку.
travel farther as well. So now he's going to Cheyenne, which is a different solar system, and this is just his first stop in a several on his way to, what's the name of the solar, is the solar system named Hyla as well?
I think so.
I'm not sure. The planet, yeah.
Well, we're about to
Actually, I
find
think
out.
it is the Hyla system.
Right,
yeah.
all right, so we're on our way to the Hyla system, and pretty
Ну, мы
much
тут
what Hark was doing
на
with
планетке
Constellation
летаем.
was just trying to get through the first quest.
Это же как в No
19
Man's Sky,
missions in
да,
this
что
game,
каждая
19
планета
quests,
обладает
and you can't
уникальным
go and
контентом,
fast
да?
travel around solar system to solar system until you
Ну,
finish the first
контентом
quest.
не
But
факт.
now that Hark has done that,
Чем-то
he's able to
уникальным
go
они
around,
обладают.
and he's going to do a
Названием там,
huge
например.
sequence break. So he's going straight to this planet, Hyla 2, and instead of picking a main landing spot on the planet to go to, he's going to actually look for a visual cue in the terrain and land specifically at it. We kind of have like bunny ears that he is landing to the
Мы сейчас
southeast
просто на
of.
глазок
And when he lands
приземляемся.
here, he lands in the closest position that we've found to a big sequence break. Pretty much in the 12th mission of the game. Again, there's 19 of them. He's supposed to be on the second one. Also, real quick side note, he's building an outpost and moving it as far
Сейчас
away
будет
as
большой
possible, so
секвенс
he can
брейк,
fast travel
связан
to
с
it-
этим
fast
местом.
travel to it real quick and skip some running. Some of the indigenous species are in the way there.
Which is also just the biggest brain move I've ever seen.
Yeah, I can't believe you thought of that, Hark. The outpost thing. It's just nuts.
О, ну тут хотя бы
But anyway,
животные есть.
oh, you got the map
Oh.
thing. Hark is the only person I know who has got.
А,
this.
чё, куда
But
планета
pretty much,
исчезла?
if you do some standing stuff like Hark has been doing, you sometimes
всё.
fall under the map like this, and it's faster than navigating through the terrain.
Мы в подземке.
And Hark also, because he was boosting near all those enemies, he got enough boosts in combat to level up the boost pack. So now he just leveled up the boost pack and he can boost even more. But getting back to
Ну,
the,
пока
and
еще он
also,
быстрый.
there's so much happening.
Real quick, I'm actually making a couple saves because with the trick that we're doing with the outpost, it's actually possible to basically go so fast that the game can straight up kill me sometimes going across the water. I think it's the game's attempt, like it has something to do with being in a quote-unquote unloaded area and being there for a while, and the game just messes up memory and it just kills
То
you.
есть, как я
but-
понял, если в
Wow,
этой игре
it's
слишком быстро
funny.
разгоняться, то игра тебя может
So
убить,
where
потому
Hark
что
just
она не
arrived, he
хочет,
just
чтобы ты
made a
не...
save and loaded it so
не
that
хочешь, чтобы
he
ты
has
заходил
fun
в
and can interact with these,
непрогруженные
because this is a
локации.
huge sequence break, just sitting here. When you walk up to it, you get the 12th quest in the game. You don't even need to interact with it to get the quest. You just come near it. And he just solved a little puzzle there with the context clue.
То есть вот
And he's
такой
on
вот
the 12th mission.
с
So
хитрой
we're
последовательностью
over
действий
halfway
мы
through the game now.
сыграли
You
добрую
just fast
половину
traveled to
игры.
this point to progress that quest, and we're pretty much just going to be blowing through the quest
Загрузили,
as
но не
fast as we can
прогрузили.
from here on out. Here, you want to talk about who these dudes are, Meta?
Yeah, I also would like to say that sequence break saves about an hour over the glitchless run.
Ну,
It's
сказать, что вот этот sequence break
And now we're going to talk to, as Tomato
сейвит
has
где-то
lovingly referred to it,
час
as Daft Punk.
игрового времени.
In Yeah, actually,
Точнее,
I would just
игрового,
let you
реального
continue.
времени.
То есть,
This is a
если бы мы
conversation you're supposed
проходили
to
без
have,
этого глича,
way
это бы
later in the
занимало
game.
час.
This is supposed to be a big reveal of a
Хотел
dead
сказать, час
companion,
игры.
but because we skipped so much
Да,
of the game,
час реальности.
it's just a
Час
placeholder
реальности.
NPC who happens to look like one of the companions.
Ну,
It's
игры, в
not
принципе,
Mateo, it's just a
тоже.
placeholder.
Но реально
Some
ли
other
это
movie
игра?
members have gone through
Или
the
это
files
выдумка
and found that it was
маркетологов?
just a
И
placeholder,
на
right,
самом
Hart?
деле Старфилда не существует, это просто
Это
большой
тульпа.
заговор.
I believe so.
Не, это знаешь, это мы в
Тульпа
коллективном
тоже
разуме,
говор, да.
короче. Ну, может быть. Мы в коллективном разуме, короче, и мы все придумали одну и ту же игру, короче.
Это эффект Манделы.
Right now, the quests are all, hey, we found this artifact, we got a ping on our radar, can you go grab the artifact? So he's going to be going
Будет
back
ли
to
тот говор, и скажем
Constellation
ли мы ему
and
спасибо?
talking with Vlad there.
Зайдет ли он в зал
Vlad's gonna give him
Гадекана
two
в своей
quests to do.
кожанке?
One of them is Unearthed, which requires him to go to first Luna, which is Earth's moon, and the second one, what's the second one called? It's not Entangled. We get Entangled after.
There's Entangled, Unearthed, Final Glimpses. They all kind of like mix in and out with each
Yeah.
other, so it's really weird.
They kind of stack. Like when you're doing these quests, until when you finish one of them, it doesn't actually finish. It says in a different quest. It says in the quest, okay, go finish this other quest, and this quest will finish.
Yeah. Final Glimpses serves as like the umbrella quest line.
Да, мы,
I
короче,
guess.
выполняем
And then you
квест,
have
но
Unearthed and,
так получилось, что надо выполнить квест, чтобы
Yeah.
выполнился квест.
The old man.
Поэтому мы
just
идем
appeared on
выполнять
screen for a
квест,
second.
чтобы
There's a
выполнить
chance he can
квест.
spawn like halfway through his chair.
or under the map.
Or under the map. We got real unlucky here. Bad Walter RNG. But now that Hark has these quests, he's first jumping to Luna, where he's going to pretty much boost to the top of the building. What's going on here?
The game wasn't letting me get out of my chair.
Oh, love that for you.
Yeah, we're basically going to visit NASA right now, and at the top of this tower on Luna, there's going to be
О,
like an
мы
audio log
приземляемся
that
на
we have to
Луну.
listen to progress the quest.
It's a couple minutes long.
Yeah, and so while that audio log is playing, we're going to be doing another quest so that we aren't just sitting there waiting.
Тут тоже
a lot
нельзя
of this
садиться на
run
планету,
has,
самому надо
a
экран
pretty good amount of
загрузки
forethought
ждать.
put into it. You know, with the amp routing, you have to be thinking 2 minutes ahead of time so that you're not
Зато какой
conflicted with
экран
zips.
загрузки красивый.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Which
В
is a
общем-то,
good thing to
никакой.
mention. You brought up the amp timing. When Hark was talking to Vlad, he popped one of his amps.
Я, кстати,
so
это
that it will
выработал
last
иммунитет
just until
с играми
right before he's
беседки.
doing his next
Я
zip.
не
Because,
замечаю
like you saw earlier, zips
экранов
require you to
загрузки. Мне
jump
кажется,
and
что
pause
все
at a
происходит
specific
прям
time.
мгновенно.
Я
And being
выработал
able to jump
иммунитет от
twice as
игр
high, not only
беседы,
does it
я
mean
не
you're in
замечаю
the air
экранов.
longer, so it takes longer per
Когда
zip
игры
attempt, but
беседы
it also just makes the
активированы,
timing a bit harder and you're not entirely used to it.
это очень полезно.
So with popping the amp when he did, it's going to run out like right before he does the next zip. It's
Но
crazy
приходится
how
играть,
fast it's timed out.
ориентироваться по звуку.
Also, this cave here that we
Здорово,
are
что
grabbing this artifact
разработчики
from is randomly
стараются делать
generated.
игры более
There are some
доступными
that
для людей
take up to
без
10 minutes to get through.
глаз.
And because we are running off of a pre-made save here, which was mostly done for quality of life purposes, luckily we also have
И мы
the ability to
раскопали
basically manipulate the
синематик,
RNG of these caves.
выкопали
So
жесткий
we have a
синематик,
pre-made save that has the
Блин,
best
продвинул
прикиньте.
нас по сюжету,
Oh,
I think I
и
got a
мы
game
просто
Woo! We did it.
крашнулись.
Alright, it's alright.
Мы продвинулись по сюжету
worst case
достаточно
scenario, we have
далеко,
to
чтобы
pick up the
словить
artifact
вылет на
again.
рабочий стол.
Thankfully, the game likes to make.
По цвету
they
рабочего
like to
стола я
make a
подумал,
lot of
что чел
saves.
псот поймал.
Yeah, we had to revert back to before the artifact.
Я думаю, Псот бы не
That's
закапчивался,
all
не
right. That's all
закапчивался
right. It
бы.
happens. Out of your control. Maybe while
Вен,
you're running at the artifact.
Starfield крашится. Это значит, что у Крида и Старфилда вещей общих больше, чем кажется. Что
With
Крит
no
игра
comment
про
there.
космос,
We
то, что
also have
Starfield
a
игра про
$25
космос.
donation from Bretta
И эти
Beast
обе игры
that
тоже
says,
вылетают.
"Have to see that
Ой,
blindfolded
капец,
Caldera fight. Come on,
пошли,
y'all. Let's
аж
get this incentive met." And
насладился,
then
как
finally, we
ранее
have a
раскапывает этот
$25 donation
синематик
from
снова,
Ravoff of Riverwood
на котором
that
очень
says,
много
"Hey, you,
партикл
you're
с
finally awake.
эффектами.
You were trying to cross the border, right?
Хорошо.
Walked right into that
Я
Imperial
хочу
ambush,
копать.
same
И
as
вот
us. And that
на
thief
какую
over there."
планету надо прилететь,
Oh
чтобы
no, that's incredible.
устроиться раскапывателем
Thank you.
синематиков?
Now that Hark has gotten that artifact that was
На
in the cave,
какую-нибудь...
the audio log that he
блин.
activated on the moon,
Где-то
it's pretty
есть
much,
это жило,
it's wrapping up. You
клондайк,
can still
клондайк
see
всех
the dialogue
синематиков
on
в
the
мире.
bottom of his
Это
screen when he
как,
loads in. It's a conversation
так
between
сказать,
Victor
торговцы
Isa,
и
who's a big
ящики под
role
ними
player
с
in
предметами.
the whole Starfield
Я думаю, там,
universe
где Земля
lore.
хорошая.
Pretty much as soon as this dialogue ends, then a door here at NASA's launch tower unlocks. So that's why he went to the moon first,
И у
like
нас
Meta talked about
разблокировалась
earlier, so that
дверь
he could do stuff
на
while that
этой
was playing out
башне.
in the background, because we don't want to just stand there twiddling our thumbs, waiting 2 minutes for a door to open. Which, this is the door right here. Hark is getting on his rescue axe because the zip is coming up again. And as soon as it's done, the dialogue there, he makes a save and loads it, because again, he did the landing animation skip. So he didn't have his HUD and couldn't interact with some things like doors, but
Так,
now he's going
сейвлодимся
inside.
тут, скипаем
It's time for the
анимацию.
next zip. Meta, how do you feel about zips?
They are extremely complex and difficult. I attempted to learn them for any percent, and they're useful in the
Пора
faction
делать
runs as
новый
well.
zip.
And I was never really able to get them consistently.
Насколько тут зипы похожи на
just
зипы из
unfortunate. They're
Принца
really, really
Персии?
tough. You basically
Не насколько тут
there's
фоторежим.
two sort of ways you can get a zip. You need like a value
Ну,
between I think it's like
насколько,
1.4 and 1.9.
насколько
And
зипы
from that you
работают
can create
так,
a
что
quick save,
ты
which will get you through.
зипаешься
Or you're looking
сквозь
for a value that's like something like
стены.
223, and then you can create a hard save. So now Hark has
Так,
zipped
все
out of
зипы
bounds,
работают.
and
Ты
we're going to be doing
просто
some out of bounds navigation here. This jump's kind of
летишь,
tricky.
просачиваешься сквозь
Nice.
стены.
And yeah, we're just going to be going around here, and then we're going to go under, and we're going to be doing something called the COC,
Вот,
which you may be familiar with
много
if you've
игр
seen some Fallout runs
пострадало,
before.
заглючевало
Essentially means
их
center on cell.
от
It's
этих
a
фоторежимов ваших.
programmed
Тут
it's a
сейвлодишься,
location that developers
фоторежимишься, и
have put
все,
in
ты
as a
для тебя
fail-safe in
стена
case you
как
fall
масло,
onto
а
the map
ты
or something, and it will teleport you there. So
топорик.
Yeah, so again, Hark is
Не
just
очень
progressing the quest
наточенный,
right now.
но
He's going to grab an artifact. Just like
с
Meta
маслом
said, he's
справляешься.
going to then zip out of bounds and just fall into the void, which will COC him back to where he entered the building at the elevator. Just a nice little shortcut back to where we started.
All right.
Я сейчас пытался представить маслянистые стены.
A little bit late.
Звучит как
That looked good.
Yeah, that one.
кроссовер двух манг Дзюнзиита, где отверстия в стенах и где мужики масло пили.
oh, that's too bad.
Вот
Man,
они
that's
бы
not
пили
real
масло,
That's some baloney.
залезая в стены. Было бы мощно.
But yeah, in a way, zips are. I would say they're half skill based and half RNG, because even if you get everything right, you get the right frame, you get the blip frame where you see yourself out of bounds, you can still not get the trick. So it's controllable to an extent, but it is still somewhat a little bit random.
Yeah, they're really tough. They're finicky. They're just a lot. But now that Hark's outside,
Ну,
Daft
большая
Punk is
башня
back,
была.
they're
Изнутри
just
она
gonna
кажется
regurgitate
больше,
some
чем
info
снаружи.
to
Но
us, and pretty much they're like, hey, I don't
мы
like
просто
this guy. Daft.
прозипались.
Pretty much this is where Daft Punk broke up. They're talking about how they don't like each other, but Hark's like, you know what? I don't like either of you though. And they both turn to him and be like, you know what? We're gonna team up because we don't like you because you don't like us. So Daft Punk is coming to get Hark now. They'll be coming back later. But now
Нормально,
that he's
количество
completed the
техника
unearthed mission,
растет.
I guess, gotten to the point where the unearthed mission says go complete another mission. He's now doing that other mission here at Nishina, where after he talks with Ethan Hughes through the ring doorbell right here, he's going to make a save and load it so he can interact with the door and enter the station. And inside, you're supposed to stand in an airlock while Ethan Hughes does some like protocol stuff, like
И вообще я считаю, что в современных играх вообще не должно быть сохранений, потому что в Starfield куча вещей ломается только из-за этого.
Реально. Сохранение, колес с оружием, там. Только пермодесы. И чтоб прыгать нельзя было. Вот прыгать, если в играх, то это вообще капец, все ломает. Вот этими
Я еще
прыжками
считаю,
своими.
что игры забыли аркадные корни. Надо ввести систему монеток, что проиграл, монетку вставляешь.
Мне кажется, вот игры, которые делают Bethesda и тот Говард, они как раз по системе монеток распространяются.
То есть кидает монету и решает, что добавить, что нет.
Не решают, продать ее тебе или нет.
Ну не знаю, в моем случае монета упала не той стороной.
If you don't get this zip first try, you talk to Raphael in the room, who's an NPC, but did Hark get it? Oh.
Again, right frame, but a little bit unlucky. I'm doing good with timing it.
Не получилось скипнуть
They're looking good on our end. Of course, you have the speedometer on your end, so you're able to see it. But
зип не идет, не идет. Мы разгоняемся, квиксейвимся,
all the
клодимся.
zips here are really tough. Like the fact that Hark can get them as consistently as he does is just insane.
Блин, а я лично в Ференхагер запускаю монетку, чтобы из этой игры выйти.
Also, side note, so Raphael is I don't even know how long.
Я надеюсь, это монетка с грузиков с одной стороны, чтобы никогда не выходить и не дышать.
Impeccably maintained mustache. It's incredible. Where does he get his wax?
I am incredibly jealous.
Игры надо делать по хардкорным правилам ДНД. Да, такие игры есть, это ДНД.
Beautiful.
As soon as he loads in, then he's gonna run out of the elevator he's in and turn around and clip through the back of the elevator. Pretty much the experiment he needs to shut down is in the next room over, the big final room where you fight a bunch of
смог
bugs.
клипнуться. Ну, теперь снова надо. Вернее, зипнуться.
But you can go out of bounds by zipping and just breeze straight into the room and start doing all the stuff.
Да, разгона не хватает. Давай. Море волнуется раз. Море волнуется два. Море волнуется три.
It really does.
It's best mission in the game, though.
Ну, смотри,
раннер замри.
Ты прям это заколдовал, чтобы он действительно зипнулся.
Да ну, без колдовства тут вообще не поможет. Учитывая, с каким колдовством эту игру разрабатывали, тут нужна такая светлая магия. Нефильтрованная, я бы даже сказал.
Я темный волшебник. В этом случае.
Так, мы снова использовали большой лазер, чтобы раскопать синематик сомнительного содержания. Даже, так сказать, галюны в Mass Effect были поприкольнее.
I can't get over this mustache. I love
It
him.
is truly
Ну, кстати, да, последняя миссия в игре.
So slick. Now that right
Мужик
now,
с
Hark
усами
has
мне
leveled up
кого-то
a few things,
напоминает.
including ballistics, so his guns deal more
Какого-то
damage.
комиссара
Pistols,
Пуаро
so
или
pistols deal more damage for
типа
something
того.
later on. Took a safety strat of leveling up shield. And what
Так и
was the other
хочется
one?
доверить
He
им
leveled up the
свое
ballistic
дело.
system.
Ballistics and pistol.
Комиссар Пуаро.
But that's
Или
all
кто он
just
там
for
по
combat
званию.
stuff. But
Он
now he's
просто
making his way
детектив.
across the galaxy.
А комиссар
to
Рекс
where
был.
Dad
Я вас
Punk
представил
decided to
вот
hold
это
a
сочетание
reunion tour,
величайших
where
детективов
they're gonna be waiting for him and pretty much
как бы
say,
20
"Hey,
века,
we're still mad
комиссара
at ya,
Рекса
we
и
wanna fight
Пуаро,
ya."
как бы, да,
And it's
в
another big
едином
ship
таком
combat,
существе,
and
с
it's
Убер таком,
really,
который
really
раскрывает
hard to do
преступление
this fight
просто по
fast.
взгляду на
Really hard.
According to some people.
любого человека.
Wow, shots fired.
Сальвадор Дали — это мужик из Дюны.
Just incredibly talented.
Truly cannot
Линча.
emphasize enough how insanely good Hark is at this
Или
game.
Мухтар, точно.
Yeah, a lot of the time these ships will
Вспомнил.
sort of fly right
Геометрия.
over you, and it's quite difficult to track them because they go faster than your camera
Ладно,
trends.
абстрагируемся от
So
тарантиновских
you
диалогов.
really have to
У нас пошли
basically
космические
predict where they're
бои,
going.
жесть.
And they really like to just try and fly away from you out of range and pull you away from the other
А
enemies
знаете,
you
как
have to kill.
выиграть
There's
все
three
космические
guys
бои?
that
Вы
he's
просто
trying to
делаете
fight.
бублик.
They also teleport, so
Yeah.
that's
И
fun.
Да.
Teleport and go
хитбокс,
invisible. It's
враги
really
всегда
fun to try and
целятся в
do quickly.
середину, а если у вас ничего нету,
Something
то
important to mention though is when
вас
Hark
не
was
собьют.
traveling to this point and standing up, he did pop another amp. Maybe wondering why did he pop an amp if he's still just sitting in his captain's chair? Well, it's because he's going to be doing some running in a moment, and again, he wants the amp to run out at a very specific moment before he does the next zip, and it's just perfect. No, that was a really solid combat, dude. Really, really good. Again, landing animation skip. And then gonna be doing some running.
Почему в космосе излишни звуки? Не, это просто когда ты стреляешь, это динамики звуковые внутри корабля, импакт отдают, чтобы скучно стрелять не было. Да, был какой-то твит, что самая лучшая форма корабля Starfield — это буквально полый прямоугольник, потому что корабли в Starfield только стреляют в центр.
Small optimizations.
Yeah, and you may be
Ну или
asking,
Буба,
like,
по
well, you were
желанию.
able to
Главное,
go
чтобы
to
центр
the other planet
Буба.
to skip to the Unity quest line. Why don't you just come to this planet and start Revelation? The unfortunate thing is that the developers thought of this,
Ну,
and that this
гениальная
base is
игра.
essentially just a generic enemy base until you've completed final glimpses, I
Так
believe.
сказать, гениальные игры требуют гениальных
then
решений.
If you watch the top right corner, you'll see the amp runs out like any moment now.
TM.
It's just, you're too fast, Hark. You're getting
Приносят маркетологи чемодан к Тодду Говарду. Тот его открывает и говорит, а он мне как раз.
И надевать чемодан на голову.
Yeah, so if you remember, amp gives you that double height, right? Which totally messes up
чемодане был
with
Skyrim.
the timing for zips.
Alright, we'll get it, we'll get it. Good old Masada zips.
Yeah.
First try every time, about 13% of the time.
And
Not
this
bad,
is
not bad.
no.
There we
solid.
go.
Ну, зипчик пошел,
he's
прошел.
He's gonna be going to do another zip.
Как же
and
легко
this is
тут
the last
в
zip of the
Unbound
run,
свернуться.
At least in the current route, we
Это
do know of
балдеж.
another one that you can do. That's
Вот только
Once
в
or
Unbound
twice.
уйти
Yeah?
непросто.
oh man.
Yeah.
Ходишь
let's do it.
туда-сюда.
Yeah, this
This-
run's been going pretty good so far,
No, this
so.
run's so solid.
Это
But
удивительно,
this
как
zip
у
right
него
here is really tough
игра
because
быстро работает,
not only do you
гладенько.
have to get the
Ну,
zip right as
игра
normal,
создана
but
для того,
there's the
чтобы
stuff
работать
on
в
the
60
left.
FPS.
He's trying to
Зачем
hit it pretty much
больше?
in that little gap between the
Медитативный
fridge on the
геймплей,
left and the
исследование
pole on the
космоса.
right. And it's really easy to
Когда
bump into
пытаешься
either
выжить
of those
больше,
and
игра
not be able
говорит,
to do
мне
the
не
zip.
надо.
Nice.
Запрещает.
So nice.
Yeah,
Ну и сейчас еще не сделали
No?
компьютеры,
That's
чтобы
completely
играть в
fair.
4К 320 Гц.
I will go for
Okay,
it.
okay.
Так что нечего и
I think
начинать.
we're running underestimate here.
Ну,
Anyways.
кстати,
If Hark
соболезную
gets it
тем,
this one
кто
time,
не покупал
everyone
4К
watching the stream
монитора,
has
а
to donate
104...
I will
144
donate
Гц вместо них.
$20 if you can get this.
Я типа знаю, что
Also,
могут
I'm
быть
on
большие
amp,
мониторы с
just-
такой
just
герцовкой,
so
но
you
все
know.
же.
Oh,
Такое
no.
ощущение,
That's gonna make
что
it
у
even
тебя
worse.
вот в гейминге есть две пути,
And
как
this
бы.
zip
Казуал
that
и
you go for
киберспортсмен.
once, it would skip this
Казуал
elevator
выбирают
ride.
побольше, а киберспортсмены
Normally we
побыстрее.
just walk backwards out of this little
Да не,
room and
можно
go
и то, и
right back
то.
to the elevator ride.
Никто не запретит. На 2К хотя бы, ну, большой монитор, это кайфово.
I'm seeing the
Чтоб
blips.
можно было нырять в него,
Slightly
как,
wrong timing. I'm gonna go for it just a little bit
Каспийское
longer,
море.
'cause this is a cool.
Нырять в
This
Starfield,
does
я
look
имел в виду
cool
в
when you get
космос,
it.
блин.
окунуться, да, вот
Even
по,
if
по
right frame.
самые
Ooh.
щиколотки.
Oh.
Even if Hark doesn't get it first try, though, everyone
Или
watching
что
should
там,
still
по что
donate
там можно
$5.
окунуться, я не знаю.
I guess.
Yeah.
Ну, а видишь,
We
чел
are here
окунается
for
в
a great
стену.
cause, after all.
Yeah.
Right frame again. Let's see.
Можно сказать, бросается,
Got
кунается.
it.
Hey!
That's the hardest thing to
О,
do.
Beautiful.
закунался.
Pretty much that skips an entire elevator ride.
Все, он вернулся в
Right here,
каноху.
so he just picked up a pistol. You notice there's a shotgun right next to it. He grabbed a bunch of chems too. You don't need to worry about getting encumbered or anything, but he grabbed a pistol here. Normally we've been grabbing a shotgun there to do this fight. You're supposed to fight this dude who's invisible. He's hard to spot. Right now Hark is standing in a
Сейчас
spot where
жесткий
there's an overview
файт
of
нас
where he spawns, so
ожидает.
we can see where he is. And normally we grab the
Мы
shotgun,
его
but last night when we were
ждем
doing a
Гардиана
practice
этого.
walkthrough, Hark did you accidentally, or no, you forgot the ammo in the shotgun earlier, so you grabbed this, and we're just sitting here watching him do this fight, and we're like,
Запускать проектор — это буквально, короче, жить как на солнечных часах. Зависишь от времени суток, если у тебя комп плохо
Коварный враг
с освещением. Все.
в инвизе сидит, как хищник, короче, прыгает по колоннам. Наконец-то хищник референс в моем любимом Metal Gear Solid.
A bunch of persuasion with them, which he grabbed some drugs right before grabbing the pistol. One of the drugs increases your persuasion, the other one increases your movement speed. The persuasion is for this moment right here. It's the final real challenge of the run. If you've done everything so far so good, you've gotten every
Я такое
first
лекарство по
try, but you
пятницам
still have to
принимаю
persuade
вечером.
Daft Punk to, you know, give up on their reunion tour, stay split.
Ну, как вы знаете, убеждение — самая могущественная способность в этой игре. И мы убеждаем плохих парней, чтобы они просто ушли. Так вот, мы проходим игру. Вот и вся магия, так сказать, Bethesda игр. Прокачали убеждение и убедили всех. Потому что мы правы, они не правы. Добро снова победило зло.
So now that Hark has that
А
final
было ли
artifact,
зло?
he has to go into his ship and build what's called the armillary.
А был ли
Pretty
мальчик?
much, spoilers for Starfield, cover your ears for like 10 seconds. The artifacts build the armillary. The armillary brings you to the Unity. The Unity is the center of the universe, which is pretty much the pathway to other universes in this movie's Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, and the Unity is the vision you've been seeing since the very start of the game.
Yeah.
And that's now just revealed to you, essentially.
Yeah. So Hark is
Всё,
traveling
мы
there.
летим
When
на
he arrives,
Unity.
he's gonna walk forward and see
Пора
a
портировать
mysterious
игру
figure
на нормальный
standing
движок.
And because we didn't spend much time on character creation, it's kind of hard to recognize. But this is us.
Я думаю,
This
не
is
в движке
usually when us
проблема.
speedrunners get to see what we looked like for the first time in the run, since we don't really pay attention during character. Do we have the Raphael mustache?
Oh my...
No way! Oh my god! This is amazing.
Incredible.
Мы встречаем самого себя из
This is
реальности,
just the
где
final dialogue. He's picking specific options to get through
Starfield
it
вышел
faster.
хорошей
And
игрой.
he's gonna walk
Не,
into the
это
Unity
ГДК
and end the run.
24
What
встречается с
time- when does,
ГДК
when does time
24.
end for the run?
Получается, мы с тобой сейчас два марафона смотрим.
Awesome. Let us know when it is.
Это
3 seconds.
просмотр от второго лица.
And time.
GG.
Awesome job, Hark. You killed
What a
it.
solid run.
If you were here, I'd
Ну-ка,
give
за
you
что
a
я
hug.
проголосовал? Не,
Time.
кому-то
И
пузырики
это
мои.
время
Oh,
41-21-1.
good. Hark, why don't you
Красиво,
sign us out?
красивое время на таймере. Мы такое любим.
Well,
Наконец-то мы получаем то, что заслужили. В конце этого рана нам показывают синематик. Расширенная версия тех мутных синематиков, которые мы раскапывали в пещерах. Вот мы, как хороший синематика-коп, получили самый полный большой синематик с кучей планет и
вселенной.
Соглашусь, что синематик — это самая лучшая часть игры.
Да, на синематиках игра не вылетает, только после них.
Да и перед ними.
Ну, мы пока только после видели.
Не, ну тут главное, понимаешь, откуда точка отсчета.
Надо было Сташку
Чей-то
делать,
конец может быть
крашнется ли игра.
Ведь
Обязательно должна.
it's a relatively low barrier access game to learn, and it's
Так, хорошо, галактики складываются в фури картинку.
Yeah, and there's also a whole lot of other stuff, like there's backups. For the first zip in the game, we have something called a slip. We didn't even cover that, but it's much easier.
Хорошая игра.